In 1988, Wayne Gretzky made the move from Edmonton to Los Angeles, from hockey's heartland to Hollywood, from the best team in the game to an 18th place franchise. Los Angeles was a new beginning for Gretzky.
You know, the big thing is the fact that you become just an everyday person and able to do things and go places and realize and know that people aren't staring at you. And from that point of it, my lifestyle has changed and it's been great.
In 1988, Janet and Wayne welcomed their first daughter, Paulina. 2 years later, a son, Ty, and in 1992, a second son, Trevor. Another generation of the Gretzky family has taken to the ice.
Gretzky on the break, he shoots, and he scores!
In the land of the stars, Gretzky shone. Kings games were selling out for the first time in the team's history. It began a boom time for the NHL, and the league would soon expand across the southern U.S. In October of 1989, Wayne Gretzky became the NHL's all-time points leader.
Wayne Gretzky has tied it and broken Gordie Howe's record.
That was probably one of the moments I'll never forget in my career because it just happened bang, bang, and it was in Edmonton where it deserved to be and where it belonged. Gordie was there, and he came on the ice, and my dad came out, and my wife, and it was a real special time.
As Wayne rose to the top of the game, Walter Gretzky became Canada's most famous hockey dad. In 1991, Walter suffered a near-fatal brain aneurysm. Suddenly, Wayne was without his mentor.
You know, for me, my dad was kind of my right arm, and all of a sudden that's cut off. And it was a real tough situation. You know, not just for me, it was devastating for my whole family, and especially my mother.
The man who had chronicled every step of his son's career lost all memory of Wayne's accomplishments.
Time for me, from the early 70s, most of the time to the end of the 90s, doesn't exist. I didn't even know who my children were for a while. They put pictures on the wall at the hospital of all the kids. I didn't know who they were.
Walter's years of difficult rehabilitation weighed heavily on Wayne's mind. When the Kings lost to Montreal in the Stanley Cup Finals, Gretzky hinted at retirement. Janet convinced him that his father would want him to carry on.
Janet was really a huge influence in that sense that, you know, stepping forward to saying, you know, he would want you to play and he would really be disappointed if you weren't playing.
Gretzky took to the ice with renewed passion. Goal number 802 erased another Gordie Howe milestone. But Wayne was already planning for life after hockey. He had opened his own restaurant in Toronto, inspired by Sunday dinners at Grandma Gretzky's farm.
Wayne was a lot more involved in the development of the concept than a lot of people believe. From the moment I started talking to the Gretzky family about the restaurant, they always talked about how great his grandma's pierogies were, and so we had to have the pierogies on the menu. The meatloaf was another one. There were a few things that he thought should be on the menu to reflect him and his family.
Wayne still wanted another shot at the Stanley Cup, but at age 35, time was running out. As the Kings struggled in the standings, the usually diplomatic Gretzky spoke out.
I'd like to win, and I really needed to know if that's what everybody in this organization's feelings were. If we're gonna wait 3 years to try to win a championship, that really doesn't do Wayne Gretzky any good.
Although Wayne remained one of the top players in the game, the Los Angeles Kings embarked on a youth movement, trading the veteran Gretzky to the St. Louis Blues.
He scores!
The following year, he signed as a free agent with the New York Rangers.
Walks down the slot. Peter Gretzky scores! He scores! He looks, now he shoots. Score! It's a hat trick for Wayne Gretzky!
In April of 1999, Wayne Gretzky announced the end of his 21-year professional career. When he left the ice for the final time, he owned 61 National Hockey League records and more honors and awards than any other player. And as always, Walter was at his side.
I never would have dreamed. He started when he was 6 years old, and here he retired when he was 38. That's 32 years later.
As I was skating around, I just felt more joy than anything. Every game I played my hardest. I felt proud of my career, and I felt honored that they were cheering for me, but I also knew it was the right thing to do.
Please welcome Wayne Gretzky, inducted to the Hockey Hall of Fame in the player category.
When Wayne retired, the 3-year waiting period was waived, and he was immediately inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame.
Thank you very much.
The Hall of Fame was only the beginning of the honors for Gretzky. His number 99 jersey was retired throughout the league. And although his career took him to several NHL cities, to many he will always be an Oiler. And the people of Edmonton paid tribute to their favorite son.
As Wayne prepares to officially dedicate Wayne Gretzky Drive.
To people that weren't even born during the glory days of the Oilers, Gretzky was still a hero.
If you couldn't play any professional sport, what would you do as a job?
What would I do as a job? Well, right now I could probably clean my highway.
Wayne did get a new job. In February 2001, he returned to the NHL as part owner of the Phoenix Coyotes.
Janet was very supportive of it. She wanted him to have a new challenge in his life, and, you know, overseeing a hockey organization at the NHL level in a coat and tie was something that she herself felt would be very, very timely for Wayne.
New uniforms and a new building have changed the look of the Phoenix Coyotes. But even for the great one, running an NHL franchise is anything but easy.
The first thing you learn on the other side, it's a lot more difficult than people think. Just from the people point of view, you know, you're not dealing now with yourself or just the locker room. You're dealing with, you know, your farm system, your farm team players, your trainers, your office staff, your scouts. And believe me, everybody's got either a problem, a complaint, or something they want to ask. And that's what you deal with, and that's part of building an organization.
In an area known more for golf courses than ice rinks, Gretzky faced a tough challenge. Soon he would be the center of attention in the birthplace of the game.
Next on Life and Times.
It was a sea of red, and there were adults beside us. They were crying, just crying out of sheer happiness.